Hey, Pastor Kip here, and this past weekend we wrapped up our series on the picture perfect family, understanding that there is no such thing as picture perfect parents or picture perfect kids or picture perfect family. And we wrapped up the series talking about communication, and we looked at some foundations to build our communication on. And what I wanted to do in this short little video is to highlight some principles for our communication that will really help strengthen our ability to communicate and to be heard in the communication that we have with those that we care about and that we love. And so here's the first one, principles to strengthen communication. The first one comes from James chapter 1, verse 19, and it says, "Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." And maybe you've heard that passage before, and here's the listening principle that really comes out of this passage is that we're to be aggressive listeners, that we're quick to hear, that we're quick to listen, not to speak, not to get angry, but that we listen to what is being said. And here's an example that we can all relate to, whether it's your spouse or your kids, if they're watching TV or reading a book or on a video game system, and you give them some instruction. Hey, could you take the trash out? Hey, be sure to clean your room. Hey, we've got to get the laundry done. Put your clothes away. And as they're staring at the screen, they're like, yeah, got it, okay. And what they've done is they've heard you, but they haven't actually listened. And you know that because they don't actually do the request that they were asked to get done. And this is what happens when we're not aggressive listeners. We might hear information, but we're not actually listening to actually put that information into practice. And when that happens, it drives a wedge in relationship. It makes us feel like we're not being heard because we're not being heard. And so be an aggressive listener. That's the first principle when it comes to communication. I think oftentimes we have a hard time listening because we're thinking of how to rebuttal or how to respond to what's being said, versus aggressively listening to try to really understand what's being said. Here's the second one, from Proverbs 1, chapter 5. It says, "Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands, let them obtain guidance." And really the listening principle from Proverbs 1, verse 5 is to listen to the wise counsel of others. That the wise person listens and increases in understanding. The one who seeks to obtain guidance, seeks to understand, they grow in wisdom. And so when we have people around us that are giving us wise counsel, when we have friends, family, loved ones that care and want the best for us, pastors, leaders that want what's best, that we listen. Here's the principle: listen to the wise counsel of others. And we live in a world where people are not short on opinions, ideas, thoughts, but to find the right people that give wise information, wise counsel, and that we would take that in. I think often we don't listen to the wise counsel of others because of this little thing called pride. We want what we want, how we want it, when we want it. And when that tends to trump our ability to listen, we go off doing what we want rather than listening to the wisdom, the advice of those who are close to us, in relationship with us, who know us, who love us, and want what's best for us. And so be an aggressive listener, listen to the wise counsel of others. And here's the third one: listen to understand. It says that the wise person increases in learning, and the one who understands obtains guidance. And Proverbs 18:13 says, if one gives an answer before he hears, before you're an aggressive listener, if you're just listening to respond rather than listening to understand, it says that it is folly and shame, that it is unwise, that it's foolish. When we don't seek to understand the person that is communicating to us, where they're coming from, their perspective on this issue. So be an aggressive listener, listen to the wise counsel of others, and listen to understand. That we're growing in unity in our relationship when I seek to understand where this other person is coming from. where their perspective is, how I may have hurt them, and I can meet them there. I can own my stuff, the areas maybe that I wronged someone, because I'm listening to understand where they're coming from. And maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe they didn't have all the information. Maybe I didn't communicate it well. And so this provides an opportunity to understand someone's position, where they're coming from, and then to be able to meet them in that place and form unity within our communication with one another. These three principles will strengthen our communication ability with the ones that we care about and with the ones that we love. And so I would encourage you, I would challenge you, those foundations that we looked at in this past Sunday, along with these three principles, can really help us grow in our communication, our love for one another, building unity in the community and relationships that we have, if we are an aggressive listener, if we listen to the wise counsel of others, and if we listen to understand. I hope you found this helpful. Be sure to join us this Sunday as we start off a brand new series called Nope, as we look at some different beware statements that Jesus makes throughout the next few weeks, and some things that we ought to avoid that maybe the world tells us are okay, that are good. So I hope we'll see you this Sunday. Bring a friend. It's going to be a great time. Have a great rest of your week, and God bless.